Welcome to Blueprint for Life. Today we are talking about grit, the power of passion and perseverance, and how this idea connects deeply with my own journey as an immigrant PhD student. This is not just a book summary. This is a story about struggle, growth, failure, and continuing anyway. So let's start with the question at the center of this episode. Why do some people succeed while others fail? Is it talent, intelligence, luck, connections? According to Angela Duckworth, the answer is often something else: grit. Not just being gifted, but staying committed to something important for a long time. And when I first heard this idea, I immediately thought about my own life. Before we go into my story, let's define what grit really means. The myth versus the truth. Many people believe success comes from talent alone, that if you are naturally smart, naturally confident, or naturally skilled, success will follow. But the truth is different. Grit teaches us that success is not instant, not fixed, and not only for the naturally gifted. It can be cultivated, it can be grown, and it grows through effort over time. So what exactly is grit? At its core, grit is the combination of passion and perseverance. Passion means you care deeply about something. Perseverance means you keep going, especially when things are hard. Not for one day, not for 1 week, but over years. And when you put those two together, you get something powerful. Grit is not just working hard, it is working hard towards something that matters to you. Passion gives you direction, perseverance gives you endurance. Without passion, you may burn out. Without perseverance, you may quit too early, but together, they create grit. And this leads to one of the most important formulas in the book. Angela Duckworth explains it like this: talent times effort equals skill, and skill times effort equals achievement. That means effort counts twice. Talent matters, yes, but effort is what turns talent into skill, and skill into real achievement. That message stayed with me because it described exactly what I lived through. Let me take you back about 21 years. 21 years ago, I started my PhD journey as an international student. I was in a new country, in a demanding academic environment, and English was a major challenge for me. Sometimes I could not fully understand what professors were teaching in class. That was intimidating, it was lonely, and honestly, it was overwhelming. But I had a goal, and I knew I had to keep moving. So I began doing what grit often looks like in real life. I took extra lab classes before my actual classes. I studied before class, not just after class. I asked professors to meet with me and go over the syllabus at the beginning of the semester. For my first 2 years, I spent almost twice as much time studying and staying at school compared to many of my peers. It was not glamorous, it was not easy, but that was my version of grit, doing the extra work quietly, again and again. And still, even with all that effort, I hit a painful setback. I failed my first written qualifying exam. That moment was devastating. When you already feel behind, failure can feel even heavier. I could have treated that failure as proof that I did not belong, but instead I chose to treat it as feedback. Not the end of the story, just a hard part of the story. And that is where grit became more than an idea. After I failed, I asked for help. I talked to professors about what I needed to improve. I studied more, I tried again. That is one of the biggest lessons of grit. What matters is not whether you fall down. What matters is what you do next. You adjust, you learn, you keep going, and over time that effort began to compound. Eventually, my English improved, my confidence improved, my ability to handle the work improved. I passed the written exam on my second and final chance. Then I passed the oral qualifying exam and became a PhD candidate in my second year. That moment meant so much to me, not because the road was perfect, but because it was hard and I kept going. That is why this formula is so powerful. The grit formula works, but it does not work overnight. Sometimes we expect fast results, and when progress is slow, we think we are failing. But slow progress is still progress. Skill takes time, confidence takes time, achievement takes time. And sometimes your journey will take longer than other people's journeys. That does not make it less meaningful. So how do we actually cultivate grit? From the book and from life, I see 3 practical ways to grow grit. First, manage your mindset during setbacks. Do not let one failure define your future. Second, pursue joy and purpose. Work becomes sustainable when it connects to something meaningful. Third, build a process-driven environment. Habits, routines, support systems, and discipline matter more than motivation alone. And that leads to one more message I really want to emphasize. It is okay if it takes longer. This is something I truly believe. You do not have to succeed on someone else's timeline. My journey took extra time, extra effort, and extra resilience. But that does not make it less valuable. In many ways, it made it more meaningful. Your timeline is not your failure. Your timeline is your path. So if I had to summarize this episode, here is what I would say. So, here is main takeaways. First, talent is not enough. Effort counts twice. Second, grit is passion plus perseverance. You need both direction and endurance. Third, failure is data, not a destination. A setback can teach you, redirect you, and strengthen you, if you let it. These lessons came from the book, but they also came alive in my own life. And when we apply these principles consistently, they shape who we become. When I look back now, I can see my journey more clearly. I started with uncertainty. I faced language barriers, academic pressure, failure, and self-doubt. I had to adjust, learn, improve, and keep going. And as I reflected on my own experience, I saw so many connections to the book Grit, The Power of Passion and Perseverance by Angela Duckworth. This book helped put words around what I had lived through, that success is not only about talent, but about passion, perseverance, and staying committed over time. So for me, grit was not just a concept from a book. It became something deeply personal, something I practiced step by step through real challenges in life. That is the beauty of grit. It can turn struggle into strength and effort into transformation. So let me leave you with this final thought. Thank you so much for watching Blueprint for Life. If you are in a hard season right now, keep going. Your progress may be slower than you want, but it still counts. If you find this video helpful, please like and subscribe the channel. Until next time, take care of your blueprint and each other.